What's going on YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on a few altcoins. We're going to start in on Ethereum here. We're going to be looking at Ethereum on the 1-day time frame. We're sitting at $431. We're down 5.43%. We're actually seeing a little bit of rejection right up here. So what we were projecting last night, what we were trying to get up to was around that 489. We didn't end up hitting that. We had a nice strong candle close, but we're seeing a lot of selling off and some rejection here today. So we want to watch these areas. The main spot we're going to be looking for Ethereum now to hold as support is going to be around 417. That was a major resistance that we struggled with for quite a while, and we want it to become support because we just broke through it. So we're going to be looking at 417 to hold as support. If that does not hold, we're going to start looking down to this 20 EMA, and that's roughly going to be at about $400, and that's 400 psychologically. So this is still healthy for the market. You can see how the market structure works in terms of higher highs and higher lows. We would just want to set that next higher low. So we're going to have to be patient and wait and see, because Bitcoin's selling off a little bit now. And we're going to have to see how the dust settles here. Sometimes when Bitcoin cools down a little bit, you can get some money running into the altcoins. But right now, I'm sure there's just some indecision as Bitcoin's selling off a little bit. We talked about that rickshaw man doji we were seeing in the last video. But this is healthy, but we got to pay attention to the heavy volume that's taking place with this selling. If that keeps up and we get really deep here, then we're going to have to look at some different areas. But for Ethereum right now, we just want to hold that 417, but we're still in an uptrend, still looking good right now. And you know, that's where, not financial advice, but when you're a longer term investor, that's when you still want to be sitting in those positions and letting them ride. We haven't had a major trend change yet. So that's something that I'm looking at. But overall, guys, seeing some rejection right there, and we're just going to have to see where we find that support. So that's going to be Ethereum. If you get some from that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to move into XRP next. XRP was seeing some rejection, and this has been a tough overhead resistance for us, and that's been around 25 cents. 0.25827 is going to be the area. We're having a little bit more selling volume right now, and you can see this longer wick of rejection. So we're just going to have to see where we land. We're trying to hold these moving averages. Right now, the volatility stop is going to be at 0.23809. Right down in here, and that's going to be right below the 200 moving average. And I like to use the volatility stop, but what I usually do though is take it a little bit lower than that even, and that's where I like to use this TradingView Pro, guys. And I leave a link down there. This is something I don't really promote much, but for people who are looking for a place to trade, it helps because you get all those indicators. So I do have a link down there to that, and that has always helped me, having all these things, you know, the moving averages and, you know, volatility stops, the volume, all that type of stuff. It's nice to be able to see it displayed on the screen for you. So check that out. But still, right here for XRP, we're just looking to stay up above that 200 moving average as we've been moving in this rectangle, this consolidation, really moving sideways there. If we take a look at the technicals, we're looking at a 7 sell, 10 neutral, 11 buy oscillator, 0 sell, 9 neutral, and a 2 buy. So let's just see if we can stay up above those moving averages. That's the main thing that I can say, because we can even move sideways for a little bit longer, but eventually we got to get up above this, you know, 26 cents, right in that range. RSI sitting at 50 right now, very neutral. Let's take a look here. Just kind of strolling around. Litecoin, seeing some big rejection here. This would be, if we candle close today like that, a bearish engulfing candle on heavier volume, so we'd have to pay attention to that. We want to hold roughly, turn the screen for us, we want to hold 59.17 as support. So let's see if we can candle close up above that today. If you're playing Litecoin and you're in a position in terms of short-term trader, that volatility stop, I always like to mention, that's at 56.64, just to help some people out there. And also still for Litecoin though, I mean, we're up above the 20, we're up above the 50, the 100 to 200, and we're getting those golden crosses that are taking place. So, you know, we're just going to have to watch this cool down, what's going to happen with it, and then what type of reaction we get out of here on what type of volume. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. We're sitting at 57 right now on the RSI for Litecoin. We saw that rejection up there around 62, call it 62.85 is going to be the area. So let's take a look at a few more. Take a look at Tezos here. So Tezos, we had one of these long leg dojis down at the bottom off support, little heavier volume buying, bullish engulfing candle, everything looking good. We're seeing some rejection today just as the market's selling off. So the main thing for Tezos there, we want to stay up above $1.85 as support. So we're going to watch that area. RSI is at 45. Nothing too crazy there, but you can see we saw some rejection earlier today at that 50 moving average, and that's what we need to get up above again. Typically in an uptrend, you want to be up above it, and then downtrend, you can see it's acting as overhead resistance. So we definitely need to pay attention to these areas. Overhead resistance we'd want to get over top of around $2.22 is going to be for Tezos. And I know a lot of people like this one too, because you can stake it or whatever on Coinbase and make some interest and stuff, which is nice when you're accumulating in downtrends. You know, if you're a longer term investor and you're at the lower end of this, you know, if you're accumulating, waiting for something to the trend to reverse, you know, it's not a bad thing to actually get paid a little bit. So I know some people like that, but Tezos is one that typically when it runs, it moves pretty fast, and same to the downside. So always keep an eye on it, but we're at $1.98 right there. If you guys get something from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.